Hey there, folks. It's me, your friendly neighborhood environmentalist, here to talk about something that's been weighing heavy on my mind: climate change. Now, I know what you're thinking. Climate change? That's old news. But here's the thing. It's not just about the weather, It's about the bigger picture, the interconnected web of life that we are all a part of. It's about the animals, the beautiful creatures we share this planet with. From the majestic elephants roaming the savannas to the tiny birds chirping in our backyards, every creature plays a role in the ecosystem. They're losing their homes, their food, and their lives because of us. Our actions, whether intentional or not, have far-reaching consequences. The polar bears are struggling to find ice to hunt on. Their very survival is at stake as the ice melts away. The sea turtles are getting tangled in plastic, unable to swim freely or find food. It's a dire situation that needs our immediate attention. And the coral reefs, once vibrant and full of life, are turning into ghost towns. These underwater cities are crucial for marine life, and their decline is a warning sign we can't ignore. It's a real heartbreaker, I tell ya. Seeing the impact of our actions on these innocent creatures is enough to bring tears to anyone's eyes. But listen, I'm not here to bum you out. There's still hope, and there's still time to make a change. I'm here to tell you that we can still turn things around. It starts with small actions, like cleaning up our beaches and planting trees. We gotta act fast, but together we can make a difference. Every effort counts, and when we come together as a community, our impact is magnified. We gotta remember that this planet ain't just ours, it's theirs too. The animals have just as much right to be here as we do. So are you with me? Are you ready to stand up and make a difference? Are you ready to fight for our furry, scaly, and feathered friends? They need us now more than ever. Good, because we got work to do. It's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it. Let's dive into this, shall we? Together, we can create a future where humans and animals live in harmony, where our actions protect and preserve the beauty of our planet. Let's get started. All right, so how exactly is climate change messing things up for wildlife? It's a big question with some pretty serious answers. Well, let me break it down for you. Climate change is like a domino effect, and once it starts, it impacts everything in its path. First off, it's making the planet hotter than a New York City sidewalk in July. We're talking about heat waves that are not just uncomfortable, but downright dangerous for many species. And when I say hotter, I mean record-breaking, ice-melting, species-threatening hotter. Glaciers are melting at unprecedented rates, and animals like polar bears are finding their icy homes disappearing. This heat wave is disrupting everything. It's not just about being too hot. It's about ecosystems that have been stable for thousands of years suddenly being thrown into chaos. Animals are losing their habitats, their food sources are dwindling, and they're getting all stressed out. Imagine trying to survive when your home and food are constantly under threat. It's like trying to find a decent bagel in Times Square, nearly impossible. And for these animals, it's not just about a meal, it's about survival. Then there's the crazy weather. Climate change isn't just about heat, it's about unpredictability. We're talking more hurricanes, more droughts, and more wildfires. These extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more intense. These extreme events are wreaking havoc on ecosystems, displacing animals and destroying their homes. It's like a never-ending cycle of destruction. It's like Mother Nature's throwing a temper tantrum and the animals are caught in the crossfire. They have nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. And if that wasn't enough, the oceans are getting more acidic because of all the carbon dioxide we're pumping into the atmosphere. This is a silent but deadly change. This is bad news for creatures like oysters, clams, and corals, whose shells and skeletons are literally dissolving in the increasingly acidic water. It's a slow and painful process for these marine animals. It's like bath time with battery acid, not exactly ideal. The ocean's changing chemistry is a huge problem, and it's affecting the entire marine food web. Healthy coral reefs are vital for marine life. They provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for countless species. But as the reefs die off, the entire ecosystem is at risk. And it's not just the animals that suffer. Coastal communities that rely on fishing and tourism are also feeling the impact. Their livelihoods are at stake. On land, deforestation is another major issue. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, and when they're cut down, that carbon is released back into the atmosphere, exacerbating climate change. Animals that once roamed freely are now confined to fragmented habitats. Wildlife corridors and conservation efforts are crucial, but they can only do so much. Scientists and conservationists are working tirelessly to combat these changes. Community efforts and global cooperation are essential to make a real difference. There is hope. With concerted efforts, we can mitigate some of the damage and help wildlife adapt to the changing climate. It's a tough road ahead, but it's one we must travel. So next time you hear about climate change, remember, it's not just about the weather. It's about the countless lives, both human and animal, that are being affected. Let's do our part to protect our planet and all its inhabitants. Now let's talk about some of the animals that are already feeling the heat. Take the adorable Adelie penguins, for example. These little guys depend on sea ice for breeding and hunting, but with the ice melting at an alarming rate, they're running out of places to go. It's like trying to hail a cab in a downpour. Tough luck. Then there's the majestic snow leopard, a true icon of the Himalayas. These elusive cats are facing a double whammy. Climate change is shrinking their alpine habitat, and it's also pushing lower elevation animals like livestock further uphill, leading to conflict with the leopards. It's a territorial turf war, and the snow leopard is losing. And let's not forget about the staghorn coral, the backbone of many coral reefs. These underwater cities are already stressed from pollution and overfishing, and climate change is delivering the knockout punch. Warmer waters are causing coral bleaching, which weakens and often kills these vibrant ecosystems. It's like watching a Broadway show go dark, a real tragedy. Section 4. A bleak future. What happens if we do nothing? So what happens if we just sit here and do nothing? What if we continue to turn a blind eye to the environmental crises unfolding around us? Well, let me tell you, it ain't pretty. The consequences of inaction are dire and far-reaching. If we don't get our act together, we're gonna lose a whole lot of species. We're talking about creatures that have roamed this earth for millions of years, suddenly vanishing. Scientists are predicting that up to 1 million plant and animal species could be wiped out by climate change in the coming decades. That's a staggering number, and it represents a massive loss of biodiversity. Imagine walking through the Museum of Natural History and seeing empty exhibits where once there were vibrant displays of life. That's like losing every single thing in the Museum of Natural History. Gone forever. And it's not just about the animals, folks. The impact of losing these species will ripple through our entire planet. The loss of biodiversity will have ripple effects throughout the entire planet, disrupting ecosystems, threatening food security, and increasing the spread of diseases. Our natural world is a delicate balance, and when one part is thrown off, the rest follows. It's a domino effect, and we're the ones setting it in motion. Every action we take or don't take has consequences. Imagine a world without the roar of a lion, the trumpet of an elephant, or the song of a whale. These sounds are more than just beautiful. They are the heartbeat of our planet. It would be a much quieter, emptier, and sadder place. The silence would be deafening, a constant reminder of what we've lost. We have a moral obligation to protect these creatures, not just for their sake, but for our own as well. Our survival is intertwined with theirs. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is hope. Communities around the world are coming together to make a difference. Renewable energy projects are on the rise, and people are becoming more conscious of their environmental impact. Education is key. By teaching the next generation about the importance of sustainability, we can foster a sense of responsibility and stewardship for our planet. Innovative technologies are being developed to help us reduce our carbon footprint and live more sustainably. Green cities are emerging, designed to coexist harmoniously with nature. Imagine a future where our ecosystems are thriving, our oceans are healthy, and our forests are lush and green. This is the future we can create if we take action now. We owe it to ourselves, to future generations, and to the countless species that share this planet with us. Let's not wait until it's too late. Let's act now for a brighter, more sustainable future. Together we can make a difference. Together we can ensure that our planet remains a vibrant, beautiful place for all living beings. The choice is ours. What will we do? Section 5. Turning the tide solutions for a healthier planet. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's talk about solutions, because the good news is we still have time to turn things around. It's like catching a cab right before the rain starts, a glimmer of hope. First and foremost, we gotta ditch the fossil fuels. That means switching to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal. It's time to break up with big oil and embrace a cleaner, greener future. We also gotta reduce our carbon footprint. That means driving less, flying less, and eating less meat. I know, giving up bacon is tough, but trust me, the planet will thank you for it. And let's not forget about protecting our forests. Trees are like the lungs of the planet, absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. We need to plant more trees, stop deforestation, and support sustainable forestry practices. Section 6. Every little bit counts. Making a difference. Look, I get it. Climate change is a big, scary problem, and it's easy to feel helpless. But here's the thing. Every little bit helps. You don't have to be a superhero to make a difference. You can start by making small changes in your own life, like switching to energy-efficient light bulbs, recycling, and conserving water. It might not seem like much, but trust me, it all adds up. You can also get involved in your community. Join a local environmental group, volunteer at a park cleanup, or write to your elected officials and demand action on climate change. And most importantly, spread the word. Talk to your friends and family about climate change. Share information on social media and use your voice to advocate for change. Remember, we're all in this together, folks. Let's show the world that New Yorkers aren't just tough. We're compassionate, we're resilient, and we're ready to fight for the future of our planet.